All right, I am just testing this out. We are about to move, so I did not want to set up audio and video, but I watched Unicorn Pondue's recap of Foodie Beauty's mental breakdown. And as y'all know, I do mental health vlogs, so I just felt like instead of sitting in front of my literal broke down house, because I like what Foodie Beauty says. I don't think people want to watch you vlog your life and move. Sorry, that's not a dig at the other girl world lady either, because I know she vlogged her move too. I just think there needs to be a fine boundary between my personal life and what I put online, which a lot of these ladies don't understand, and they think everything needs to be monetized, even the monotonous. And you can see from Chantal, and this is just my take, my opinion. I am not clinical I'm a diagnosed schizophrenic. That is my only thing. I am very open about my mental health journey. I'm not here to diagnose Chantal, but that video that I just watched, which was a recap, because I don't give her a follow. I don't give her the views. I try to stay as far away from a lot of the girl world girls as possible because I feel like they just give bigger women a bad name. That's just my opinion on this. But what I watched in that Unicorn Pondue recap of her sketch comedy, yeah, girl needs help. I get want and love. Trust me. I think it's a natural human condition to want to feel loved and desired. So I don't fault Chantal for that aspect of her life. It's the desperation for me. It's the trying to convince herself and others, oh no, I love myself. I got pretty privilege and other clear BS at this point. On top of realizing that, yeah, she's very unhealthy, got eating disorder, binging disorder, she got all kinds of anxiety and mental health problems that you only want to medicate. You don't want to actually talk to somebody because you realize that a therapist is going to make you unpack all of your problems. And while, yeah, there are always little outside factors that lead to stuff, traumas that lead to stuff, in the end, a good therapist and a good psychiatrist, which is after that video, I'm believing you really need Chantal. After that video, for real, you need a psychiatrist. They are going to tell you, like I was told, dealing with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, dealing with sociopathy, that the decisions you make in your life, whether they're the results of past trauma, parenting, and everything else, that's a you thing. And until you are willing to own up to your part in the equation of the bad in your life, you're not going to solve the problems. You keep running away. You ran away from your problems in Canada to Kuwait. Now you're running away from your problems in Kuwait to Thailand, making problems all over the place. You're unhappy. The supposed spouse of yours is clearly not happy. You're trying to make the illusion of this perfect couple, this perfect life. But a perfect couple doesn't literally do a fucking sketch where you're calling in the 911 saying that your spouse is bleeding. And I know, oh, it's just a parody. You just see, I got you. You're talking about me. Damn right, I'm talking about you. Because, when you do that edgy art crap is when you're the most miserable. And you're still trying to convince people as you do broke ass, boring blogs in Thailand, of all places, complaining about paying for things like taxis, complaining about the price of that one video that I watched in a recap from Girl World, another reactor I like, and along with Frenchie and all the others. It was amazing to me watching two people go into a country that isn't normally that expensive, could have showed people a way to budget travel, made it at least a little bit fun that way. Instead, you're still trying to give the allure that you understand fancy, that you wouldn't know fancy if it kicked you in your big behind. And this is not to just knock the low hanging fruit of Chantal's life. Everybody has been broke and struggling. Heck, I'm broke and struggling most time too. I just don't decide to chronicleize it and put it out there for people and then get mad when people talk bad shit about it. You get what you get when you put yourself out there. And I put myself out there limited. I'm not afraid to show my face and body because, hey, I did that shit to myself. But I also realize that when I do put myself out there like that, I'm subjected to people's opinions. And if you don't have a thick skin, just because you have a thick body doesn't mean you have a thick skin. And she has proven that time and time again from her rage crits, from her, oh, I only want people who support me. Bitch, you're powered by your haters. And you don't even seem to understand that. The fact that they still even find you interesting is fascinating to me because I watched the couple vlog. I watched the Kuwait art. It is a fucking snooze fest. And now I'm going back because I did not really know you before. Really try to stay away from the messier side of YouTube normally, but I'm bored. We're in the middle of a move ourselves, so I started going back. And I love that French Fry Girl has recapped your messy life when you were in Canada. That meth arc, as they call it, is just wow. Eye opening, especially now that you are running around with a hijab on, trying to convince yourself and everybody else that you are happy and that you're sanctified and the Muslim spirit. And you're saying things like Sharia law in Kuwait. I don't even think you know what those words mean, and it's just it's clear. You are a chameleon. Anything you can do, and I said it in French Fry Girls chat in the stream. You will say and do anything for that temporary dopamine hit that you have, that temporary hit of smugness that you have from, well, I got a husband. What do you have? Bitch, a lot of us have relationships. We're not defined by them. A lot of us have personalities. And the fact that our personalities aren't governed by who we're around sets us apart. And unlike other actual reaction channels, because I cannot sit through your content without the reaction commentary. I won't subject myself to it because I do actually have mental health problems and your content depresses me. It depresses me because I see the sadness. I see the deeper desperation in what you do. I see that girl that was always longing for somebody to just care and love you, but you're not willing to do that for yourself. Yet you expect everybody else. So you take these little validations from some people who might actually be fans of you because they're rooting for you to get better, the very few of those, but the majority of the people who watch you are mocking you and you know it. And deep down you love that because you're starved for any amount of attention. But you aren't willing to actually work on the most important cheerleader you could possibly have, and that's yourself. And no, I don't mean it being narcissistic because you will sit in front of a phone saying that you're pretty, which I'm not even here to knock that because if you really feel you're pretty, good on you. That's a start. But you know you are messed up. You know you have no idea how to truly navigate who Chantal is because you don't even know who you are. You're whoever Salah wants you to be right now. You're whoever Nada wanted you to be when you was with that idiot. You never tried to figure out who you could be on your own. You're afraid of who you could be on your own. You stuff yourself with food, you get depressed because, oh, I'm not getting the dick stuffed in me. Oh, I'm not getting enough attention. You really need to talk to somebody in the mental health profession. Because, like I said, I can't diagnose, and I won't. I would never stoop to trying to diagnose Chantal's problem. And she loves to give a laundry list of the supposed problems she has, the non visual problems that she has, you know. And it's really easy to look at big people with mental health problems as a dime a dozen, and we're not. That's why I speak up and do mental health vlogs because I'm sick and tired, especially of YouTubers wearing things like depression and anxiety as accessories that you can take on and off. And with somebody like me with serious mental health issues that works hard to keep my life in balance, who understands navigate and being online and expressing opinions and especially political and other opinions, there has to be that line. I don't think people need to see everyday life because my home life is my private life. And the idea of monetizing your life like that comes with people having negative opinions. If you don't want the negative opinions, you need to reevaluate what you're doing online because no matter what you do, People are allowed that they're literally entitled to having opinions about what you put out there. You've put yourself out there for years. There's documented, Chantal. And now you get mad because people are literally giving their honest thoughts on how messy your life was, how boring your current life is, and how unhinged you seem from this last upload, even though you just said you were quitting. Because yet again, it's all about attention. And I'm telling you this, woman to woman, uh, mental health sufferer to mental health sufferer, if you want to even go there, with all the empathy that I can muster, because I really don't have much sympathy left for you, Chantal. You really need to work on yourself. You need to get some serious help, not just the medicated help, not just stuff you get stuff into your body help. You need to listen to somebody. You need to talk, unpack, and really realize that the person that you tell stuff to, if they're good, if they're a real good professional, are going to hold you accountable for things. They're not going to let you just blame your parents, your grandma, past boyfriends, people who bullied you, because even with all those traumas, which I will fully accept you went through, a lot of us did. A lot of us have dealt with troublesome partners, troublesome parents, bullies, and everything else, but we still take responsibility for our own actions and behaviors, because nobody else is forcing us to be that way. And that is the difference between somebody on the right path to getting their mental health taken care of and somebody who wants to use mental health issues as an excuse to get away with awful behavior, which is what you're doing, and which is why we have a stigma in mental health. And while I should be really focusing on my life and my move, I was so put off by that reaction video to you literally doing a sketch where I know you'll try to say it's just a sketch. It wasn't how I feel about my husband. I love my husband. My life is my husband, as I look dead inside in every freaking food vlog as I'm shoveling fucking Burger King at Thailand in my face. I just I want to feel sorry for you, but I don't. Because you put yourself in this situation. You chase something that you didn't even understand. You don't even convincingly understand the culture you're trying to cosplay in. And yet you want to tell us we're jealous? I really hope one day you open your eyes to the lies you have been shoveling into yourself. Because you now know nobody's buying it. And you now know the only way to get attention for you is to be off the wall. And it's sad. I never liked the term lolcow because I always felt like, even though freak shows and mockeries have been a staple in our society, it really does speak more for the people who have to gawk constantly at the people they think ill to. But in this case, when you are literally putting yourself out there, when you are literally acting like you're better than everybody, acting smug because, oh, you found somebody willing to put up with you for whatever agenda he wants. I could pick Salah apart, but I just don't care enough about him or his motives. I was rooting for you at first because I came into this as a complete outsider because, like I said, I tried to stay away from the messier side of YouTube, especially after my brief stance watching the art YouTube community. I just realized there are sides of YouTube that I just need to stay the full fuck away from. But when I heard about you, it was the tail end of what I thought was an actual emotional abusive relationship arc with Nader. Come to find out that it was 3 weeks on a bad mattress with meth and you crying because he didn't call you back one night. Full on mess. Full on desperation. Full on, I need love to validate my existence. And that, I'm telling you right now, you will not find validation that way, because you are putting that in the hands of somebody who, depending on their motives or agenda, will never fully give you what you want, will never continuously hit that dopamine hit that your brain constantly needs, because that's what you trained yourself. You need that sense of excitement and fulfillment, and you are not getting that with Salah. And that is why you made that god awful sketch where, oh, my husband's bleeding out. What the child? I was like, what in the actual? I promised myself that I was not going to do any more of these vlogs or commentary until we moved. And honestly, I'm not coming back to even the Bonnet Chronicles until another 2 weeks because I gotta have a balance between home life and content creating. But when I say I was beyond disturbed and I did not want to lose the thoughts that I had in my head while witnessing that without featuring that god awful content on my actual timeline, no, I really wanted to sit and record my thoughts while I had them because this is disturbing, Shanta. This is beyond disturbing. I wonder if we are going to see you on an episode of Snap now, Salah sleep with one eye open, because this isn't normal. And you can try to blame mental health. I've had plenty of manic issues. I literally have bipolar schizophrenia, so I know a bit about manic, Chantal. I know a bit about managing it with both medication, therapy, and keeping balance in my life. Not once in the 7 year relationship that I've been in have I ever had violent fantasies or done sketches, because I write too, about my partner. That's weird. It's wrong. And it shows where your mind goes when it comes to mental health, that you think, oh, I'm just showing a funny side of being manic. I'm just beezing. Your beezing is dangerous to the stigmas that people who suffer from serious mental health issues have. Millions of us go through this. We suffer normally in silence. So to have somebody who claims to have these issues make mockery of it, doing shit like that, nah, this ain't it. And you need to be held accountable for that because it's dangerous. It's dangerous to think that people with serious mental health issues do stuff like this. We don't. And I feel like a lot of people will call you to task for your obvious visible issues. This is somebody who also deals with the invisible health issues, the disabilities that most people can't see, telling you that this shit ain't it. I'm sure hopefully you'll take that god awful video down, but like everything the internet's forever, people have already screen grabbed, reacted to it. It's out there. You need help. You need serious professional help. And I don't want to hear, oh, where we lived in Kuwait is not normal. Like, there are mental health professionals everywhere. And if you really want to help yourself, you will look for them. You will take the effort that you make to get food and put just a fraction of that into actually getting not just medicine. And I am not anti-medication by a long shot. I think medication, especially when you need antipsychotics and depressants like I do, is important, but it cannot be the only thing. You cannot medicate your problems away. And you really need somebody in your life that is going to hold you accountable. You need an actual disciplinarian that isn't going to fuck you on top of that, because you seem to take orders from somebody who might give you the D or any kind of love and affection. But that's where you limit what you'll listen to, what you'll mold yourself to, and that's problematic too. You need to learn how to be your own person without anybody's influence if you are going to navigate your mental health issues and you're not ready for that. You're still online raging, quitting, coming back, raging again. It is such a predictable cycle that they don't even get excited when you do this anymore. It's so freaking predictable. And what's sad is there were people like me stupid enough to be rooting for you at first because we didn't have all the tea in 411. But the smugness made me go, what? Who is this person? Let me dig. And I didn't even have to dig deep. You put all your bad business out there and then you get mad because people are still talking about your bad business. You're in a beautiful country like Thailand, embarrassing yourself. Your husband, and I'm calling him your husband because y'all say he's married, so I don't want to question that, looks disinterested. And you can blame his heritage for that, but nah, sis, we know. There's no chemistry there. Even when you have him pinching your cheeks like he's your grandpa. This is just a sad attempt to justify the desperation we all see in you. And I am begging you, as somebody with mental health problems myself, work on yourself, Chantal. If you really want to quit YouTube for a bit, take that break. But we know you can't really afford to do that. So if you're going to be a mess, get used to people talking about you. But this whole idea that the only people that need to be around you are the ones that support you, that's insane. It's not realistic. You know it's not realistic. And now you have leaned fully into doing awful things so that the haters can talk about you because you think in your weird brain, 3D chess, you're going to demonetize, get rid of everybody who's allegedly bullying you for talking about the content that you put out there. It's crazy to me. It really is crazy to me the way your mind works and the fact that I understand it because for Snap, I know crazy bitch. I'm crazy. I cannot wait to get back to full mental health vlogs because doing these commentaries, the last time I did something like this was on, I think, Creepshow Art. I don't really like this format because it does feel like, well, why is she not showing her face? Why is she, baby, I bet she looks like this. No, bitch, I've shown myself plenty of times. When I get my new place set up, I will be back in front of the camera. Right now, honestly, I was just so taken aback by that sketch video. And like I said, it was just me watching Unicorn Pondue's reaction. And Unicorn Pondue, I love you, man. I was rolling, especially with the Florida comment, because I lived in Florida briefly. You were dead on about it, and nothing to do there. I'm glad. Sorry, sorry. I'm not gonna shit on that state, but you need a better governor. Either way, ran it aside. I'm starting to get rambly, and like I say with all mental health vlogs, when I get rambly, I know it's time to end it. I will end it like this. I will be back in 2 weeks with full on vlogs, full on Bonnet Chronicles again, and I'm excited about it because we will be in our new home. Action Wolf and I have done so much this last few years to change our lives, and it's starting to pay off, and I'm excited about that. But unlike some people, I don't plan on vlogging our home life. That is just a boundary that I don't feel I will ever cross because even though it could be monetizable in some people's eyes, I don't think my life is made like that. When I do these mental health vlogs, it is to talk about moods, about my disorder, about how I'm navigating it, good days, bad days, in between days. That is what this was always supposed to be about. And I don't fault those who do find YouTube lucrative putting their business out there. I just find it ridiculous when they don't want any pushback. They don't want any negativity when you are literally exposing yourself. What do you expect? But I think I'll get more into this when I can actually sit in front of the camera. I was so freaking shocked by Chantal's bullshit that, yeah, there was no way I could wait until the move was done. But I will see you all hopefully in 2 weeks to back to my normal schedule. For now, I'm gonna go pet Miss Callie because I need some serotonin after this. This was crazy nonsense. So yeah, thank you for listening. If you listen to this, Foodie Booty, get help. Sala actually sleep with one eye open. Your woman's deranged, and I wouldn't put it past them at this point to do something even more extreme for attention and views. Just mark my words, this is not healthy. But I'm going on too long. See you all later. Bye.